There are your standings in the NFC West. Your eyes do not deceive you. The Cardinals are in first place at 6-4. Rams, Seahawks, 49ers, all tied for second, third, and fourth at 5-5. And look at the 49ers, technically in last place when you consider the division record of 1-3. They have lost to each of the other three teams in the division. They beat the Seahawks. They have rematches with the Rams and Cardinals. Devin had to step away again. Everything's fine. Just a little potential gas leak that isn't, but there's a couple things he's got to button up before he comes back, but everything is fine. He will be rejoining us possibly during the segment. We're going to try to rank these teams. And I think, Gary, we're doing rank them not where they currently are, but where we think they're going to be when it's all said and done. Is that right? Oh, boy. This is the kind of thing you get in trouble for if people remember when Week 18 rolls around that you were wrong. But I've thought about this some. I won't say I thought about it a lot because I didn't, but I did give some thought to it. And I hate to do this, but when you consider the bigger picture here, when you consider how the 49ers have just kind of struggled to get to the point where they are, they lose the game on the last player close to it against the Seahawks. They're in last place. They've had injury issues. They played all the way into February of last year. Kyle Shanahan was asked yesterday about Super Bowl hangovers, and he tried to talk his way around that being a factor, but they're the one team of these four that I think is the closest to having the air come out of the balloon. This isn't going to be the season we thought it was. We're not going to be a Super Bowl contender. We can't even beat the teams in our division on a consistent basis. How are we going to beat the Lions? How are we going to beat the Eagles? They already lost to the Vikings. They are a 500 team. They are what their record says they are, and I think they are the first ones to fall off here. I feel like they're one significant injury away from everything just collapsing, and they're going to be the least hungry they're all hungry. Everybody wants a win. Everybody's working hard. I don't want to take that away from the 49ers, but relative to the other three teams, Seahawks after Sunday's win, what a lift that gives them. I'm still concerned about their consistency. I'm going to make them number 3 for that reason, because I don't think for them there's enough there yet to do what they did Sunday on a regular basis. Spirit is willing, flesh is weak relative to the other teams. So I'll put them at number 3. I think they have enough fight and enough spunk to make it interesting, but they haven't shown us yet this year they can be consistent. So they're number 3. Number 2, and I said earlier when a team's on a bye week, we kind of don't notice them. The Cardinals are one of the few teams this year I miss them not playing. Where's the Kyler Murray highlights? Where's the Kyler Murray update? What's Kyler Murray doing to possibly cement his case for comeback player of the year and be a fringe MVP candidate? I think the Cardinals will finish second, though. And I know they blew out the Rams early in the season, but the Rams were a shell then of what they're becoming. What I see happening is the Rams gradually getting better and better, healthier and healthier. That was a weird aberration of a game against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were, I think, sufficiently desperate to pull off that win last Monday night. I think when it's all said and done, the Rams have that championship pedigree. They have proven that they have the players when healthy. That's the key. If healthy, they get there and stay there, the Rams win it. That's my asterisk. The Cardinals can still take it if the Rams have another rash of injuries. They went through a lot of injury stuff that is still fully and completely resolving, especially along the offensive line. The Rams have a chance to become, I think, a team that will be a pain in the ass in the postseason. I always say that the 1 seed, the last team you want to see come into your building during the postseason is one of your division rivals, because they're not intimidated by you. They know you. They would love nothing more than to beat you. They understand. They get it. They want it. And maybe they'll catch you flat-footed in the divisional round, and the next thing you know, the season's over. For the Lions, right up there with Packers, Vikings as teams you don't want to see in Ford Field in January, it's the Rams and Matthew Stafford. You do not want to give Matthew Stafford another chance. He almost got you in the wild card round last year. He almost got you in week 1 this year. You go strutting into the postseason as the number 1 overall seed, and the Rams come in divisional round. Let's say they're the 4 seed. They beat the 5 seed to advance, and I know that's no gimme, especially because the 5 seed this year is going to be a pretty good team. It's going to be the Commanders or the Vikings, most likely. They come in as the 4 seed, you're the 1 seed. That is the team that could topple the Lions before they ever get a chance to rectify last year's blunder of blowing a 17-point lead in the NFC Championship game to the 49ers. The question becomes, can the Cardinals get one of these other wild cards? I don't know if do we have the playoff standings right now in the NFC? I think they can. The problem is second place team in the NFC East, second and third place team in the NFC North. There's your 3 playoff teams, right? Playoffs, there's your 3 wild card teams right now. It might be one and only one. We know it's going to be one and only one out of the NFC South because the Falcons have been sinking and the rest have been stinking. But there's a chance the Saints or the Bucs could rise up, but it's only going to be one. I think whoever finishes second place in the West is going to have a hard time because they need the Packers or the Vikings or the Commanders at this point to fall off and give them an opening. Devin, I had to do it last segment. Rank the teams for me in the NFC West, 4th to 1st, not as you see them now, but as you see them in your crystal ball end of the regular season.
All right, I'm starting out number 4. I'm going Seattle. And Seattle's had a good season, but I think when you break it all down, I think at the end, Seattle will finish 4th. I don't think they run Kenneth Murray enough, but I'll go them 4. At number 3, this is where it got a little hard for me. It's hard to say this, but I got San Francisco at number 3. And the same reason of, I think San Francisco, I know they haven't been healthy all year, but I think they've built up ways to just lose games. And I think it's going to be hard for them to get out of that funk of, here we go again. It just feels like they continue to underachieve. In games they should win, they find a way to lose. And I just don't like that for this team. Second, I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams have the best quarterback in the division. I just don't think the Rams have enough to get over the top. I think Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, we're getting close to that point where it was like, hey, trade him, this team's done. And I think they've gotten over that a little bit. I think it was a really bad loss to the Miami Dolphins last Monday night, but a good win in Foxborough, traveling from the West Coast, 1 p.m. game. But then that leaves me with the Arizona Cardinals, who are the Houston Texans of last year. That's who the Cardinals are. Not the team we would all pick in the beginning of the season. Still not the team most people will pick now. But I think they've built up enough coming off of last year where they fought and they won, 3 games, but they played hard. I think they believe that was all to set up this season. Monty Ossenfort, GM, worked with Nick Cassera for a long time in New England, and I think similar moves here in Arizona and John Gannon leading his football team. I think they go and win the division this year, and it'll be a fun watch going down the season for this Arizona Cardinals team.
We agree on the 2 halves of the division. They're just flipped. I've got Rams, Cardinals at the top, and I've got Seahawks, 49ers. I think the 49ers are one more significant injury away from just having the air come out of the balloon and being done for this year, and the other team's still hungry. And I think it's the Rams, Devin, and I had a vision last segment of the Rams going back to Ford Field, Matthew Stafford getting another crack at the Lions. That's the kind of thing that should make Lions fans nervous. You don't want the Rams in the playoffs. You don't want them in your building in January. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.